This is the video you've been waiting for. Seint Demi and 3D Foundation Hybrid. Let's do it. Step one is to apply your 3D foundation everywhere except for under your eye and maybe over here on the side or even on your lids where you might have the most troublesome areas. You decide your coverage with the 3D foundation from full coverage, medium to a light coverage. Today, I'm going to be doing a very light coverage using the blend brush. Now we're going to go into a little bit more detail and slow it down, and we're going to talk about how to use the Demi Color Science with your 3D foundation. Here's the key. As you just saw before, I applied my 3D foundation, my color corrector, my main shade, lips, cheek, avoiding this whole eye area. All I have going on right in this area here, my brows are shaded in, and just a little bit of mascara because I always have to start with mascara. It just makes me feel better. But everywhere else around my eye, my eyelid, my inner eye, my outer eye where I have my crow's feet, and this whole area here has no 3D foundation on it at all. That's where we're gonna start now with the hybrid. If you want to start with the Demi 3D Hybrid for your under eyes, these two shades are the two that you're probably going to want to start with. This is O1 and O3. Most of our under eye discoloration, whether you think it looks brown or blue or purple, 90% of the time that darkness that you're seeing is probably blue. Mine are not necessarily really blue or dark or brown, but as we age, the skin underneath our eyes gets thinner. And what happens is the capillaries and the vessels under our eyes will start to show through, giving us this shadowy, dark under eye area. You are seeing darkness under your eye, chances are it's really a blue. So using Demi, the color that filters out blue and brightens blue and dark blue areas is an orange. And this is O1 and O3. These are the two that I would recommend for you to start with. If you want to just dip your toe into Demi 3D Hybrid, just start with these two. Depending on how this works for you, you can always then add on other Demi shades. So the first thing I want to say is that Demi is not a color corrector. It's actually a color science, and it filters or diffuses excess color. Doesn't correct it, it diffuses and filters excess color. For myself and most women my age, we have a lot of melasma, sunspots, age spots, even large areas of redness. That's where you want to stick with your 3D cream color corrector camo shades and your main shades. They all have color correcting properties in them that will help quickly and easily cover those areas. But a lot of us, our eye area gives us the most trouble with any type of makeup, including cream. What happens is because we age, that skin has thinned, we start to get crow's feet, fine lines, wrinkles, the bagginess, the trough. All of these issues can be accentuated sometimes by using any type of makeup around that area. It might be time for you to try the Demi 3D Hybrid just in your eye area. Another way for you to determine that you may want to try the Demi underneath your eye area is when you add your pop or your brightener shade, it tends to accentuate your fine lines. The wrinkles underneath your eyes just seem to get bigger. It looks cakey. That's a good indication that you might want to try this by avoiding putting any other makeup around your eye except for the Demi. So here's where I want to give you an example of why your color corrector shades work better in large areas where you have melasma or sunspots or age spots. So a lot of us have a lot of sun damage and melasma on our eyelids that make them look brown or even kind of reddish. Go ahead and just tap in and use just a little bit of your color corrector shade. Mango works the best for most of us, and just lightly put a bit of that. That takes care of your whole eyelid, avoiding the inner, under, and outer area. That should take care of your eyelid for you, prepping it, and then you can go ahead and put eyeshadow on later. Can you see the difference? Really quick and easy. Now, really wanted to just put Demi on your eyelid, you can do that. Get into some of these pinker tones or even this orange yellow tone and just apply that on your lid to filter and diffuse that discoloration on your eyelid. But then that would just be your look for the day. It would be a no makeup eye. You don't want to then layer eyeshadow over the top. If that's the case and you want to try that, then I would suggest you get Y01. Use the larger end of the spot brush, dip into that, and then just lightly feather a bit of that Demi on your lid to filter out that darker discoloration and add some brightness. So you can either do the mango on your eyelid area and then go ahead and do eyeshadow and finish your eye look. But if you want to just brighten your eyelid and use any eyeshadow that day, but still give your eyes some openness and brightness and filter out some of that sun damage, then use Y01. All right, let's address our under eye. So in the areas underneath our eye here where we see the darkest or most shadowy, that's where we're gonna try first the O3. Tap the small end of the spot brush. Just a little bit goes such a long way. Go ahead and then start feathering or applying that just where you have the darkest discoloration. If you get too much or can see the color, then go ahead and tap that off gently with your finger and then go back again lightly. You can use the other side of the brush to softly diffuse larger areas. Demi works really well around the outer part of our eyes where we have crow's feet. And by adding the Demi in the areas where you have your crow's feet on the outside of your eye, you'll still get a brightening, but you won't get the accentuation of those crow's feet. I'm continuing on with the O3 in the darkest, most shadowy areas underneath my eye. A lot of us have under eye bags, and of course it has that crease or trough right underneath. Go ahead and switch over to O1, tap your brush into it, just the smallest amount. Then go ahead and fill in by tapping lightly right along that indentation. This is O1. I've brightened up this whole eye, diffused a bit of the discoloration under the eye, and helped to kind of bring that trough forward. This eye has nothing on it underneath yet, so just to kind of show you, it's very subtle, but the real benefit is I haven't layered a lot of makeup underneath my eye, so if I had much more discoloration, a lot more wrinkles and texture, that would be avoided by just going in with just the Demi on my bare eye. So here is the finished Demi hybrid look. My eye's completely done with Demi. I redid this eyelid over here with the Demi instead of my color corrector foundation on the eyelid. You can use Demi with your 3D foundation. A great place to start would be just focusing on your eyes. That tends to be an area that's the most concern for women our age, and that would be by getting O1 and O3. You may find that after trying those, you need to adjust and add a couple other Demi shades. At that point, just reach out to me and I'll help you with that. And then the Demi spot brush is really the only brush you'll need for this area. It works really great. Remember, all of us have subtle differences in our skin tone, so if you're unsure, you can message me. The majority of us, that's the best place to start. If this is something you want to try, comment Demi below. I'll message you then a link to my website for the 2 shades I recommend and the spot brush.